Oh, wow. What a shame. What an absolute shame. I didn't see that happening that way. That's just not how things were meant to go. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3 at Paradise. And certainly a game of two halves, a tale of two halves of what we actually got to witness there. Celtic absolutely outstanding in the first half. Outstanding. Should be very, very proud of themselves. And Real Madrid do what Real Madrid do. And they just come back in the second half and they don't die. Even when they're being bettered by another side, they just come back and they win. That is exactly what they do. We've seen it time and time again in the Champions League. And they didn't certainly crumble at Celtic Park at Paradise. That does not happen to Real Madrid. The current champions, and they've done it more times than any other side. And they just did what they do best, basically. But it was sad, actually, because I was really hoping to be at that game tonight because of the way things are at Celtic just now, the way the team is playing under Ange Postecoglou, what happened with the Old Firm, the derby, whatever you want to call it, at the weekend. Celtic are a side just now who they just move, they press, they hunt in packs, they're always attacking, they don't give any side time to settle and gather shape. They go, and it's an exciting team to watch just now. I was watching Gordon Strachan in the build-up to the game with Michael Owen, and both saying that the style of football that Ange Postecoglou has Celtic playing just now is the most exciting side maybe we've seen in about 20 years. And I think a lot of us can agree with that, actually. And I was lucky enough to work for Celtic last season and do a bit with them and actually see that gradual change and see how the team's developing and see how things are moving and see that happiness come back to Parkhead and see the fans adapting to Ange's way and see the players getting right involved and the all-out attack philosophy and everything starting to click. And it's really there. And I think the first half tonight against Real Madrid showed that in abundance. I thought the first 20 minutes Celtic were just sensational. But in those moments, you have to finish. Rio Hatate had that beautiful volley. If that had gone in, you'd be looking at one of the sexiest goals in the Champions League maybe what I can remember, but it doesn't happen. Callum McGregor hitting the post. I love McGregor. I absolutely love him. There's debating this with my husband tonight as well. He's saying he's not he's Scott Brownish, and he does have that about him, but he's a brilliant football player, and I just think he's all heart, and I think you absolutely need that when you're in games like this and you're at Parkhead. You've got to embody and feel it and absolutely be passionate about it and be right involved, and I think he does that, and I think he brings that to Celtic every single time. And imagine that had gone in, that him hitting the post in that moment, imagine it had gone in, it would have been something else. There was a moment as well at 30 minutes when Benzema came off, of course, and he's just such an assassin. He's the danger man. He is the high scorer in the Champions League last season. Him coming off at Parkhead under those circumstances, the way Celtic are playing, you're thinking, right, okay, the stars are aligning, things look good, things look great for Celtic, and things are definitely going to go our way. But it didn't quite happen like that. But I want to focus on the first 45 minutes because I thought they were brilliant. I thought the whole team just came together well. I thought defensively we were good. Okay, there was question marks over Jota tonight as well, but I'm not going to completely buy into that because I think he had moments of brilliance. But you've got to also realise that it's the experience as well in the Champions League. How long is it since Celtic have been there? And you go up against the actual champions under those circumstances. I thought they were great. Again, Callum McGregor in the midfield, but Rio Hatate, he's different gravy. He's different gravy, and I actually think the beauty of where Celtic are now is the attention that'll bring. And I know people don't like this, but I work down in London, and the focus in the Premier League, it feels like he will get that move. He is a proper player. Every ball he puts in, from early on in the game, that ball in very early on to Jota, that pass, he's sensational, absolutely sensational. And again, had that moment as well, that volley, as I mentioned just there, and it didn't happen. But anyway, imagine it did. What a player, I have to say. Then it went to half-time. I also thought O'Reilly as well had great moments tonight, but then also, he kind of loses the ball a lot, which is unfortunate. But, you know, just really, really great moments from him as well. And I think all over the pitch, Celtic have that all-out attack philosophy, and they've really, really showed that tonight. Second half, they crumbled. They weren't the same. You know, as soon as Vinicius Jr got that first goal at 56 minutes, you can just see that change in the atmosphere. It was 3 minutes and 49 seconds between the goals of Luka Modric. Outside the boot again. Where does he get that from? I mean, he's just a joke, an absolute joke. About to turn 37 or something in about a day or something, whatever like that. But he's frightening. He's frightening. I think that's why you actually have to take away the positives from this and go, they're playing against a side that do that every single time. You know, with him in the midfield, yeah, you can only be grateful to get those experience, I guess, sometimes. But he's outstanding. He never gives the ball away. Luka Modric, that's the thing. When I was speaking about this with my husband tonight watching the game, he's saying, you know, the difference between Callum McGregor, even Matt O'Reilly, you know, they will give away the ball. They'll have those moments. He never does that, Modric. He is a different gravy that way. He controls the game as well. The space that he's got every moment in the game, he always gives himself space. You see him looking up, you see him looking for options. He takes it all in. He thinks about things before he plays it. And yeah, you know, to get that goal again, a lovely goal, 2-0 at 59 minutes was the difference. And then, of course, Eden Hazard, who came on for Benzema, getting that goal at 79 minutes was just sad. Sad, really just put it to bed. And I was thinking actually at 2-0, just that if you could get that one goal, it would be very, very different. But I don't think there's any real negatives to take away from this game. Okay, we saw the triple change coming on, and I sat up, I thought, okay, Kyogo's coming on. All right, things could be very different. Again, they had those moments. You know, the press was good, they were tight, they were good, but you're playing against the absolute champions who are doing this every single year. What more do you want? You know, if Celtic can now go on and win 2 of the home games, it'll be very, very different. I'd like to try and go away in November to the away leg of this game, just because it was so brilliant, and you want to see the likes of Real Madrid do that in real life. I have never in my lifetime. I have never. But watching the build up to that game, watching the commentary, watching the fans, I think Celtic Park is just a very, very different place. Like right now, you know, under Ange Postecoglou, there's very little negatives that you can focus on. Okay, they're not quite there yet, but you can't go back into the Champions League for the first time in quite some time and think you're going to dominate against the champions. It doesn't quite happen like that. And Real Madrid will soak up that pressure. They'll soak up the atmosphere. They will take it all in, and they will know that whether you like it or not, whether you're playing well, whether you're dominating the game, they will not die. They will never, ever die. We saw that time and time again last season from Real Madrid. When you just about think that they're getting knocked out, they don't die. And I focused on it so much last season as well, covering the Champions League and those moments that they had, you know, where you think they're very nearly done. And a friend pointed out, you know, when you have to kill something, it's different with Real Madrid. You have to completely chop them up. You have to set them on fire. You have to put them in the well. You have to set the well on fire, chuck on a grenade. It's different levels with Real Madrid. And I think Celtic should be very, very proud of themselves tonight. It's upsetting for the fans. What an atmosphere that looked like. And it's a very different Celtic side. You know, they were certainly dominant the first 45 minutes. It's not enough to go on and win you a game against Real Madrid, but signs of absolute brilliance there. It's a different team, and I hate to be cheesy, but progress is everything in these situations. And yeah, they were a joy to watch tonight. Shame about the result. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3 at Paradise.